of the International Central Gospel Church, ICGC, and to our Practical Christianity Hangout, PCH. I welcome everyone worshiping with us in person here at East Legon, and our online worshipers joining us from all over the world, especially you. The Practical Christianity Hangout is designed by the New Wine Temple in response to the philosophy of ICGC, which highlights practical Christianity as its first pillar. We shall receive a song by Janice Pearl. Let us receive her as she ministers, I Love Jesus. welcome. We continue our season 1 of PCH on understanding the 7 mountains, and tonight we will delve into how to grow our brand. Shall we now receive our host pastor, Reverend Albert?
Wow. Tell somebody, wow. It's a beautiful Wednesday evening, and it's one of those days where you wake up feeling very happy because you know something good will happen. If you believe that something good will happen today, and something inside you tells you this is the day you've been waiting for, put your hands together. And if you are not shy like me, you can actually add a shout. If you knew who our speaker was, Abby, join us here. If you knew who our speaker was, all this shyness thing will leave you. If you know how big, how hot, how exciting our speaker is, lift the volume in the place. Oh my goodness. I've never seen a person with so much energy in my whole life. I think ladies, he has energy, but that's why the two of them get on so well. This is a speaker with a bundle of great energy, global energy. But it's just beautiful that we can make this happen. And for many of you that reached out and said, are you actually bringing Anita? We have brought Anita, as promised. And don't waste a good moment like this. Prepare to take something away that will change your life forever. Before I introduce our speaker for tonight, let me just tell you that just as an added bonus, just because Anita is coming tonight, we have increased the wow moment, and the winner of this wow moment gets to get the usual hamper of African products, plus a book and plus cash, just because it's Anita. Just so you feel happy. Additionally, by popular request, we have introduced today, for the first time in season 1, the after party in the garden for every single one of you. So that means you get to get free kebabs, you get to have a wonderful time, take pictures with Anita, and put them on your status. I asked permission. I said, Anita, please, can we take pictures? She says, I came ready to take pictures. I said, woo. All right. So tonight, why are we here? We're here because since we convened for this season at the beginning of February, we've been trying to explore these 7 mountains of influence. Which mountains are number 1, or in any order? Education, family, business, religion, media and comms. What else? Entertainment, culture, celebration, and everything in between. And we've been asking ourselves those tough questions. Who are the practitioners at the very highest level? Were they like us when they started? What did they do differently? What struggles did they overcome? Are they lucky or have they been intentional? And then for me as a pastor, I'm also very interested in their faith journey. Do they cry? Do they talk to God? Do they corner God sometimes and say, please, I have 6 months, this must happen? And what does God see when they get to those moments? I just want to know. Do you also want to know? Lovely. So we have been blessed to have exciting, accomplished practitioners come through and share their story, their journey, and most importantly, their learnings with us. Tonight we have a great friend of Lady Comfort and I here who, one thing that I love about her, anytime I get to interview her or hang out with her, I say, this is a barrier breaker. She has defied all the odds to do things that were not thought to be possible a decade ago. And that is why we are so proud of her as a sister and a friend. And the things we do behind the scenes, that one, you only see 1 or 2 pictures of it. But it just means that it's so much energy and so much fun. Anita Erskine is a visionary media and comms leader renowned for expertise in strategic comms, television content development, and high-level event moderation. Some of the events I say, but how did she even get there onto those big stages? And she holds her own with all the best across the world. As Executive Director of Erskine Global Comms, she drives transformative conversations on economic integration, digital innovation, and climate awareness, gender equality and entrepreneurship across Africa and the diaspora. She's the official host of Africa's Business Heroes, the Jack Ma Foundation's flagship philanthropic initiative, amplifying Africa's entrepreneurial ecosystem. Some of those topics, you must tell us how you get to deal with some of those heavy lifting topics and still look so comfortable and so much at home. And then also how you bring that level of energy without reducing the class and poise that you bring onto the stage. So she's a recipient of the Guba Award for Iconic Voice in Media and Advocacy, the 100 Most Influential African Women Award, the African Women Awards Excellence in Media Honor, and the 50 Most Impactful Voices Award, among others. She holds a Master's in Communications Management from McMaster University, and a Bachelor of Arts in Cultural Studies from the Trent University. For everyone joining us online across the world, and for everyone gathered here at the New Wine Temple, the best place to be, help me welcome our friend and our sister, Anita Erskine. Give her a big round of applause.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. No, stay standing, stay standing, stay standing. Everybody say thank you to the person next to you. Thank you. No. If I didn't say to the only one person, the person next to you is on your left and your right. Thank you. Now say thank God to the person behind you. Please, why are you using peace sign to thank God? All right. Remain standing. Today we're talking about how to grow your brand, right? How many of you are below the age of 18? Tell the truth. Below the age of 20? How old are you? How old are you? 19. Are you sure? Where's your birth certificate? Never mind. How many of you are below the age of 30? So let's just say below the age of 30. Now below the age of 40? 40, Cecil, put your hand down. 40 and above. Good. 40 and above people, we are the most confused, correct? No, 40 and above, we are the most confused. Everything is changing. We aren't changing. 20 and below, you are the guys changing things, right? So basically, you are running things. And we are the ones that have to figure out how to run things along with you. So really, you are the coolest. Yes or no? Own it. Who are the ones who are innovating in our world today? The real innovators, the ones that can say, listen, Anita, I am building an Africa that you couldn't build. Who are the ones building it? You see, when I talk about brand, I talk about ownership. Who are the ones building Africa? Are you sure? All right. Before I let you sit down, we have our first activity. Our first activity is called Knowing You, Knowing Me. We are going to do Knowing You, Knowing Me. We are going to break barriers, as my brother mentioned it. You see, in this world, if you want to grow, you get uncomfortable. If you want to break through, you get uncomfortable. If you are too comfortable, you are not winning. You are existing. You know the difference? To win means to sweat, and at the end of the day to say, God, thank you. To simply exist means to end the day and say, hey, my bro, because God has just been so kind and graceful and merciful. But God can do two things for you. He can push you into places of discomfort. And you can say, God is too much. Or he can still push you into places of discomfort, and you can say, I know why you are making me uncomfortable. is because you know I can do more and I can be more. So we're going to do knowing you, knowing me. And it's the most uncomfortable thing. Because if you thought you were coming here to sit and write notes, boss, notes in the jail throw. If you thought you were going to come here and write notes comfortably, and then as my big brother Albert said, we'll go down and you eat meat pie, you are lying, not on my watch. You are going to find what you call an accountability partner. Please, if that is your friend, she's not your accountability partner. The accountability partner is someone you can see right now. You may know or may not know them, but you will get to know them as they get to know you. And in that definition of that relationship, we will define how you have branded them. Do you understand the exercise? So knowing me, knowing you is you will find somebody in the audience, only one person. You will go to them and ask them 3 pertinent questions. Who are you? What are you? Where are you going in life? And the what are you is, I don't care about your CEO, CMO, CFO, student of, PhD, undergrad. That's not what you are. That's just a definition. That's just a title. Who are you? What are you? How you define yourself. And what's the last question? Where are you going? Because half of you haven't thought where you are going. So in 2 minutes, you're going to identify the person and you're going to move. It's uncomfortable, right? I'm going to make you so uncomfortable, you will wish you had stayed home tonight. And so, ladies and gentlemen, 2 minutes, identify the person. The 2 of you cannot be together. Do not go to it. Move, 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 move. Identify somebody. Who are you? What are you? And where are you going? Are you friends? Move. Somebody you don't know. Somebody you don't know. Move, move, move. I'm exempt. Find somebody. Find somebody. Do you know her? Find somebody you don't know. Move. Guys, if you don't move, I will move you. Do not find somebody who is familiar. You find somebody you don't know, because you need to understand them. There's a gentleman here. Go to him. Oh, you are paired. Not me. I'm not part of this. Find anybody, even the cameraman. Go to him. 1.5 minutes to go. One minute to go. Have you found somebody? Hurry up, you've got only 1 minute. Stand right here and do it. You've got only 1 minute. 45 seconds. Move, move, move. Identify someone and talk to the person. Move. Get uncomfortable. Get uneasy. Share the information. Nobody should be quiet. You should be talking to your accountability partner. 30 seconds. $15 seconds. In 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Move back to your seats. Move back to your seats. Move to your seats in 15 seconds. Move back to your seats in 15 seconds and sit down. Move back to your seats in 15 seconds and now 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. The last person will buy me dinner. 3, 2. The last person will buy me Coke. Bro, Charlie, bring the money. Oh, I'm serious. 5 CDs. Where is it? You don't have. Momo. All right. I am randomly coming to you to ask you what you've learned. I'm going to go to 3 people. Yes, madam. Please come with me. Oh, you get so uncomfortable. The next time Uncle Albert says I'm doing this, you will stay at home. Come. You look suspicious. Come. Guys, with this exercise, you must remember the name. You must remember the key information that was shared with you. And you must remember the details. It'll change everything about how you break the barrier and how you break boundaries. Madam, who's your accountability partner?
She's called Priscilla. Priscilla.
Where is she?
There she is.
Priscilla, come. Fast, move. We're working with time. Stand here. Okay. Who is she?
So Priscilla is working at becoming a microbiologist. And she wants to be able to find more natural ways to do some things, right? With the microbiology.
Where is she going?
So she wants to do so much in her family and in her generation.
Okay.
With the microbiology.
Okay. Where are you going? Where did you tell her you were going?
I want to be able to help the world when it comes to the natural. Okay. Yes.
Who is she?
She's a coach, and she's running a school.
2, 3. Good. She's
Yes.
running a school?
Yes.
What is she?
What is she?
Guys,
she's someone.
I'll tell you something about networking. If you walk to somebody and you ask them who they are, what they are, and where they are going, you must retain that information. You must retain that information. You may think you don't need it today, but you see how he said sometimes he sees me on platforms, he's wondering how I got there? It is the retention of critical information from years ago that I then apply to the now that helps me break through a certain space that wasn't expecting me. Do you understand? Okay, no problem. Group 2. Yes, sir. Please. You can sit down.
Thank you.
Who is your accountability partner? Rebecca? Where's Rebecca?
Rebecca Apre. Here she is.
Is it me? Am I the problem? I think how I'm holding it. 3, 2. Good. Rebecca, this way. Rebecca, who is he?
This is a pastor. He told me as he was growing, he wanted to become a pastor. And now he's a pastor at the new entity.
Okay, where is he going? Where did he tell you he's going?
He said he wanted to be a pastor, and now he's a pastor.
Now he's a pastor.
Yes.
But where is he going? Tomorrow, where will he be? He didn't tell you that part. He has failed you. Where is she going?
She said she wants to be an entrepreneur
Okay.
in the future.
Okay.
So
Did you get the name?
Rebecca Apre.
Rebecca. Pastor what? Go and sit down. All of you, merited someone marks. Come. Accountability partner. Princess. Ewahin. Where are you, Princess, my dear? Princess, where are you? Princess, move. In this world here today, we move fast. Princess, come to me. Come. Yes, Princess. Who is he?
Courage.
His name is Courage.
Yes.
Courage, where are you going?
Okay, currently I want to be a robotics engineer who wants to be on top of the world.
Okay, and where did she say she's going?
Okay, she wants to be a graphic designer and help the less privileged in the society.
Is it true? Or you are giving him marks? All right, everybody sit. Guys, the reason I did this very horrible experience with you, if you are too comfortable where you are, if for whatever reason you think life is okay, then we have a problem. How many of you have had malaria before? Talk to me about brand malaria. What's the one thing you hate about malaria?
Fever.
Fever? How does it make you feel?
Terrible.
But you remember that brand malaria makes you feel terrible when you have fever. Who has ever had brand diarrhea before? Come and tell me how it feels. What you remember about the brand. That brand of sickness.
Okay, so the fact that you have to visit the washroom and then
But before the washroom, what is it that it makes you feel? What
Stomach
reminds you
upsets.
about brand diarrhea?
the pains in the tummy.
So even now, when you're sitting there, you have pains, you assume, hey, and you have diarrhea.
I have to rush.
Okay, no problem. Talk to me about brand wache. Who loves wache? I don't want to come to you to assume you're a wache eater. Excuse me, you don't have to dance with the wache. Okay, brand wache. What is it you love about wache? What is it that wache makes you feel like, oh, this is the best thing in the whole world? Yes, ma'am. Give her the microphone.
Okay, so if you take wache, for instance, in the morning like this, like you'll be drinking water.
No. The good part. We've talked about malaria and diarrhea. Please, let's not talk about drinking water. The good part.
Okay, so I just like it. It's just nice for me.
It's just what?
And the taste and the shito parts.
Please, that's not English. What's the taste and the shito? No. Tell me what it is about wache that you like. Who can tell me about wache? I literally want to smell wache right now. Yes, my love. Come. Come to me. What's your name, darling?
Caleb.
Caleb, what do you love about wache?
The protein.
The protein. Please clap for Caleb. Why? Thank you so much. It's not really what I wanted, but you know what? It's fixed my problem. Ladies and gentlemen, it may seem I'm taking you through very basic things. Anita, what's the point? To be a powerful brand, people have to remember how you make them feel. Are you with me? To be a powerful brand. Malaria is a powerful, what do you call, sickness brand. You know how malaria makes you feel, right? Diarrhea, even worse, right? Wache, you know what is in it. You know how it smells. Concept of branding is not just about, hey, look at my name. Hey, look at my title. It's how you make the room feel. And when we talk about brand, I'm not just talking about the big brands. You are a brand. Do you know that? What is your brand?
My brand is beauty.
Eh?
Beauty.
Beauty what? Say it louder.
Beauty. I carry beauty, so wherever I...
It's wrong. It's the wrong answer. Give me another answer.
Care.
Give me another answer.
Passion.
I just told you, a brand is how you make people feel. Your beauty is what they see. How do you make people feel?
Cared for. Like, I make them feel cared for.
Cared for. Perfect. Who else knows their brand? Who else knows their brand? Put your hand up or I'll come to you. Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. Tell me. Do you have a microphone? I'll come to you. You know your brand.
Excellence.
Your brand is excellent. Excellent is not a feeling. Excellent is not a fragrance. Excellent is not a taste. Give me your brand. When I say, come and stand in the middle of the room, talk to the people in the middle of the room. How do they feel after they've been in your presence?
Quality.
They feel what? Don't worry. It doesn't have to be a complicated word. It just has to be how, when you walk out of the room, the people you've left behind you, how do you assume they felt?
Like something quality has been given to them.
Something quality has been given to them. Yes, but what is that quality? You see, guys, if you can't define how you make people feel, you have no idea the brand you carry. Should I say it again? If you cannot define the way you make people feel, you have no idea the brand you carry. To be a brand is to give people an experience. When you come into the new wine temple space, into the presence of Lady C and Uncle Albert, what do you walk away with? How many of you experience them? Good. What do you walk away with?
You come out with confidence and reassuring words from them.
And that makes you feel
Comfortable.
you are because anti-comfort is here. But you are comfortable because you feel somebody has heard you, somebody understands you, somebody sees you. And so how you grow your brand is not just about, oh, I'm an entrepreneur, I make shea butter. That is not the brand. Do you understand? Speaking of which, how many of you are entrepreneurs? Oh, I'm so sorry. Do you make shea butter? Oh, Jesus. You know, I kind of meant it, but I didn't mean it that way, right? No, but okay, fine. Then we have a perfect example. If I were to use your product, how would you hope I can say, you know what? This is how I feel.
You should feel, well, it nourishes your skin, actually.
No. You are telling me the qualities of the product.
Right.
That's not the brand. The brand is what the product makes you feel.
I get it.
The brand is yes. So you see, it is not as easy as assuming that all you've got to do if you are an entrepreneur is build a product, and the product is shea butter, or the product is Sobolo, or the product is African print. The brand and its aliveness is how it makes the person using it feel. Even brands can make you feel horrible. So I, as a person, I can come into this space, experience or share my experience with you, and you can walk away feeling, you know what, this woman, Anita Erskine, every time I listen to her, I feel horrible. That horrific feeling is my brand. Are you with me? How do I now make sure that this brand grows? Whether I want to grow the horrific feeling or the good feeling is by doing what I made each and every one of you experience. Because I'm not a woman of words. Yes, I can play with words, but I'm a woman of real life experience. How many of you hated knowing me, knowing you? In fact, you will never do it again. Put your hand up, I will not be upset. You didn't like the first activity called knowing me, knowing you. Tell me the truth. You didn't, you all liked it? Oh no. Who didn't like it? Who didn't like it? You said you didn't like it? Why?
It was unexpected. I didn't expect that I was going to be that quick.
So you thought you would come and I'll talk and I'll do it. Please, can I have the fourth slide? You thought that was what I was going to do? And then I shocked your system. But that is what growing your brand means. Is to go into spaces that shock your system. Is to go into places that because you are unsure of where you are going, but you desperately want to be there, you over-prepare yourself so you are not caught wanted. My brand is one that will shock you into discomfort. And so the next time you see that I have been advertised to speak, one of the things now you know is, listen, as for Anita, when she's invited to speak, she makes you do things that you know what, you are not very comfortable with. So the next time I'm going to go and listen to her, I'm going to prepare myself. In fact, I'm going to look in the mirror and say, hey, my name is Christopher, and I am this, and I'm going here, because I know the kind of brand she carries, it makes you uncomfortable. But do you know why the discomfort is important? Can anybody tell me why the discomfort is important? No wrong answer. It's because the moment you start to become too comfortable in life, it means you're losing out on what the world has got to offer. Yes, give me the answer.
It makes you come out of your comfort zone.
Thank you. How many? Yes, madam. Say it into the microphone.
It challenges you.
Beautiful. It challenges you. What else? That discomfort, I'll come to you myself. That's why I wore flats, so that I can run around. Please, boss, I can run faster than you.
Yeah, that's for growth to happen. Yes.
is for growth to happen. One more. One more.
You earlier mentioned that it helps you to break barriers.
Thank you. One more over there. Discomfort, why do you need it?
So I think it helps you to break barriers, as she was saying.
Yeah.
So if you are comfortable at a place, you won't be able to know the next move.
Perfect.
Because you are comfortable there. But when you are able to be, when you are discomfortable or uncomfortable at a particular place, you'll be able to know the next move to take to be comfortable.
So let me just correct you there because I want to make sure you leave with a gem. When you are uncomfortable, when they do doomsaw, how many of you experience doomsaw? This one is not a political conversation. Those of you who are saying, Carlos Nwonje, what do you dislike about doomsaw? It's hot. When it gets hot, what do? Well, if you can open the window, what do? Some of you, when it gets hot, what do? Yes, sir.
Sometimes I can bath maybe 4 times or 5 times before sleeping.
Yes, please. No, but when you are in heat, you quickly look for cold air, right? Yes, madam.
I think it forces me to think.
It forces you to think. It forces you to wonder, what can I do to become a little bit more comfortable? And for some of us, you start to take a piece of paper and you start to fold the piece of paper in a way you never knew you could fold the paper. And then you start to find yourself and say, hey, this one, I remember when they taught me in class 1. I didn't know I could still do it. That is the power of innovation. When you are caught in a situation where you are uncomfortable and you've got to find a solution. And the only solution you can find is when you think outside the box. You have to be innovative. Because you've been innovative now, you've been able to develop the next phase of what you thought you didn't have, which was, oh, I didn't know that I could be uncomfortable and create a situation where I can come out of it and be comfortable. But even that, when you're suddenly comfortable, you start thinking, you know what? Maybe I need to figure out how to solve this heat issue. So you start thinking outside the box, bigger and bigger and bigger. I've got 4 minutes. I'm going to take you through something I call power. 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 P-O-W-E-R. Power. Guys, give me the slide. Power. Is it on there? Beautiful. P for passion. Passion is when you find alignment between your dream, your ambition, and that thing within you called your soul feels that, you know what? I think what I'm doing is making me a better person. To grow your brand, you need to find that which makes you feel passionate. When you are doing it, it doesn't feel like hard work. That way, when it comes time to grow your brand, you don't feel like, oh, I'm just too tired to bother. Oh, owning your difference. Owning your difference. I walk into spaces where I'm often the different one. But you know, I can complain and say, I'm the only one. Or I can say, I'm the only one, and what can I turn it into? Because every single time there's a difference, there is an opportunity. So if you are the kind of person who looks at yourself as, oh, and I'm different, and the world doesn't like me, and God doesn't like me, God is giving you the wonderful, the most beautiful opportunity. You cannot see it because you are not owning your difference. Work. But work without intention is nonsense work. I'll say it again. Work without intention is nonsense work. You will work all your life and have nothing at the end of the day. And I say it with humility and I say it with respect. But the reason I was asking about your ages is because those of you who are of the age of current innovation, who are determining where the world should go, that we are 40 plus, we are confused. In your hands sits an opportunity to be intentional. Please, do you understand when I say intentional? It means meticulous 1 + 1 + 1, and I don't care if it gives me 3, I must achieve 5. So what must I do to achieve 5? Work with intention. Look outside the box. Do not be too comfortable with your community. The moment you are able to sell something, 1, 2, suddenly you say, hey, I have arrived. There's nothing like arrive until the day you are in your coffin. Then you have arrived to heaven. E, embrace strategic visibility. Embrace anything that will allow you to be in a place where you can be seen. Today, I challenged you to break the barrier of the discomfort of sitting and asking the person next to you who's a stranger who they are. Now that they know who you are, they can see you. Embrace the opportunity to be seen. Visibility is everything. Stop saying, hey, me, I'm too shy, so I'm going to stay indoors. Me, I don't like crowd. Oh, you don't like crowd? Crowd too doesn't like you. So crowd will not give you the money the crowd can give you. At the end of the day, nobody owes you anything. Nobody owes you to look for you. Nobody owes you to call you except your mother and your father, not even your relatives. So if you don't come out to be seen with the desperation that you want the world to see you, your product, hear your voice, then you know what? You will be hidden for the rest of your lives. R will be my last one. Reinvent yourself. Reinvent yourself. Stop being so comfortable with what you created 5 years ago and start pushing yourself to see what you can create 5 years from now. Stop saying, do you know that I'm the winner of Ghana Most Beautiful? Do you know I'm the winner of the New Wine Testament Most Wonderful? Do you know I'm the winner of... Stop it. And start saying, yes, it's true. I did win this. I did win that. But the future that I'm serving right now, which aspect of it do they care for? Most of the time, they don't care. Unless you have reinvented yourself in order to make that past glory. That past glory, nobody will take it away from you. That past glory means nothing to the future unless you are able to reinvent yourself and plug into the future. So stop saying, oh, because I've done this, I'm okay. Even for you young ones, reinvention is not for only the old ones. So I'm not that old, but you know what I mean. I'm 40-something. I'm sure you thought I was 20-something, but yeah, I know I get that all the time. But reinvention is to allow you to see what's next. So ladies and gentlemen, my time is up. But one, I took you through discomfort. The only way you are going to grow your brand is if you do the things that you didn't do yesterday that you are too afraid to do, because if you are not careful, you will not grow tomorrow. So get yourself out of your comfort zone. 2, the brand, the concept of the brand has to be something that you are sure you can leave behind. A sentiment, a feeling, a taste, a fragrance, a memory that you can allow people to have. When you go to the office and you leave at 5, how do your colleagues feel about you? A powerful brand makes people feel inspired, motivated, makes people understand that aspiration is what they need to be focusing on. And last, definitely not the least. Guys, if you don't, as a nation, as young ones, older ones, come to understand that the world is changing, if you don't come to understand and align yourself with your power, if you don't own your difference, if you don't work with intention, if you don't fight for the visibility that you believe you are owed, and lastly, if you don't reinvent yourself, you will be a has-been, and no one cares who you are, and no one really cares what your brand is, because it's one of very many. And you would have worked all your life for something that you cannot even one day say, wow, This is who I am. This is what I built. At the end of it all, everything I've shared with you tonight is going to make you so scared. At the end of it all, everything I've shared in the last 32 minutes is going to make you so afraid. The moment you start to feel fear about that which you are building is when you know that, yes, I am about to break through and break barriers. Because the barriers are big, they're long, they're wide, they're tall. And the moment you start to feel, I'm actually about to do this, is when you realize that you've applied all that made you uncomfortable and you are just about to break through. That's it.
Welcome to the month of April at ICGC The New Wine Temple, East Legon. This month we celebrate the death and resurrection of our Lord Jesus Christ with a series. Our PCH Hangouts continue with the theme, Understanding the 7 Mountains of Influence. Join us every Wednesday evening at 6:30 p.m. as we engage top professionals and experts in various fields.
Are there any barrier-breaking applauders here? This is not barrier-breaking applause. Sitting down like this is not barrier. It's Polly put the kettle on applause. Something like that. So nobody thought about going to give her a high five and saying, I enjoyed that. That is more like it. Let the energy go up in the room. Please be seated. When I come back from this commercial break, I'm going to actually go on stage with Anita and ask her, so when she mounts that global stage, how does she make people feel? Then we'll copy her answer and then go and now break it up and see, how should we answer that question? That question about our brand. Not the share, but the brand. Let's go for a 1-minute break. When we come back, please, if you are watching us online, please post your questions in the comment section of the stream that you're watching us on. If you're here in person, you have the privilege of not just seeing and feeling the energy, but also writing your questions and asking them live here in person. I love the part about discomfort. It's so real, but guess what? It just means something is being birthed in your life tonight. Please don't go away.
Welcome to the month of April at ICGC The New Wine Temple, East Legon. This month we celebrate the death and resurrection of our Lord Jesus Christ with a series. Our PCH Hangouts continue with the theme, Understanding the 7 Mountains of Influence. Join us every Wednesday evening at 6:30 p.m. as we engage top professionals and experts in various fields. This month we welcome Anita Erskine, Professor Stephen Ade, Theophilus Yate, Oreku Ampofo, and Uncle Ebo White. Don't miss out on these insightful discussions. Our various services are carefully designed to minister to your every need. Our encounter service takes place every Saturday from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Our Sunday services are at 7:30 a.m. and 10 a.m. This Easter, let's celebrate the death and resurrection of our Lord Jesus Christ. Joint service on Good Friday, 18th April is at 7:30 a.m. Easter Encounter service is at 5 p.m. on Saturday, 19th April. Our Resurrection service is on Easter Sunday, 20th April at 7:30 a.m. and 10 a.m. On Easter Monday, 21st April, it's our Family and Friends Fun Day from 10 a.m. right here at the New Wine Temple grounds. Experience the baptism of the Holy Spirit at our Encounter service on Saturday, April 12th at 5 p.m. Preparatory class is at 4 p.m. If you are interested in being baptized by immersion, join us on Saturday, April 26th at 6 a.m. at the church premises. On Sunday, 27th April, we come together for our communion, confession, and celebration service. It's a time of reflection and spiritual renewal. This April, at the New Wine Temple, we are one big family in Christ.
Welcome back. If you're here at the New Wine Temple, you are at the right place at the right time in the right company. It's PCH with Anita Erskine. So just in case you have for some reason you don't know who I am, my name is Albert. They call me Pastor Al. And today we are exploring how to build and grow your brand. Anita shared some thoughts with us, and just in case you want to help us appreciate the acronym POWER. P stands for what? Oh, come on. Passion. All right. The O? Own your difference. Okay. W. No, I like the nonsense work part. What does W stand for? Work with intention. So working without intention is the one that's called the nonsense work. Okay. Then the E. Pardon? Embrace. All right. And then R. Reinvent yourself. So we are trying to reinvent ourselves here. And very importantly, to achieve that, you have to embrace strategic visibility. Anita, do you decline some opportunities because it may give you visibility, but not the kind that you want in building your brand?
I decline certain opportunities because before I accept an opportunity, I have a one-on-one conversation with God. And my conversations are all about, you know me, you know my heart, you know where I want to go, you know who I'm trying to meet, you know the kind of conversations I'm trying to have. If this particular opportunity aligns with our pact, then I'll take it. If it's just an opportunity that, okay, well, it might pay the bills, etc., but you know, sometimes it's not really, it doesn't go beyond that. If it's right for me, if it's not right for me, regardless, talk to me. So Albert, gone are the days when I took jobs because it's another job. The new person that I have forced myself with intentionality to become, the one that looks to find alignment with everything I do, has to seek advice from the higher power, has to seek the voices of the Holy Spirit to really determine if what I'm being invited to do and asked to do is right for me at that time.
Interesting. Let's go a step back to the pact with God.
Yeah.
I mean, we were not there when you spoke with God, but just to give us a sense of what does one consider in trying to make that pact with God? How do you find that the centerpiece of that pact?
What I did was, God, you know the skills I have. You know where the world is going. You know where Africa is going. I want to be an individual who can build a legacy as far as all this is concerned. I have these skills, but I really don't know how to apply these skills to meet that burning desire, that demand that I put upon my own head. So because I'm only human and I don't know, and you created me and you can tell my future, how about you help me discover what I am truly passionate about? What I can truly work every day tirelessly for and with, that will not make me feel like I'm wasting time. And help me discover how to consistently and constantly reinvent myself to meet the demands of the spaces I want to thrive in. Literally, Albert, that was my conversation with God. I asked, and he answered. And that is exactly how the pact was designed or is designed.
Anita, I've known you for years.
Yeah.
I won't have the opportunity to break down your life, but considering your public life, I would say that if this was the gradient of your life before 10 years ago, it would seem that the past 10 years have been like this. A steep climb, suddenly, or almost seemingly suddenly. It's such a huge global presence.
Yeah.
What did you do differently in the last 10 years?
I made myself very uncomfortable. Because, Albert, I have been an entrepreneur for a long time. In the space where I work, you come with not just your personal name, sometimes the name of the network or the organization that you work for. So even if you are Akosua Bonsu and I'm the CEO of this big company, the door isn't open for you because you are Akosua Bonsu. It's open for you because everybody wants affiliation and association with that big company. Some of us want sponsorships. Some of us, whatever it is, we want affiliation. What I realized is because I was a lone ranger, and because, yes, indeed, I was coming from an industry that globally is so huge, how do you even navigate these industries when you're a lone ranger, when you're an entrepreneur? I started to knock on doors that I never even thought somebody like me could knock on. When these doors opened and they came with terms and conditions, I prayed to God for the power, the strength, the resilience, the tolerance to deal with sometimes what could even have been described as very belittling, because they know, you know, for example, if I'm sitting side by side, or my CV is sitting side by side with somebody that works with, let's just say, CNN or BBC, the name that they have should technically outweigh my name. Who is Erskine Global Communications? So Albert, I knew what was ahead of me. And I knew that, well, Anita, in order for you to play where those big boys and girls are playing, you need to get uncomfortable. So you need to almost look beyond the place, the space, the ecosystem that kind of is so nice and warm and fuzzy that always just comforts you, and look beyond that. Go where it is uncomfortable. And every single opportunity you get, justify your inclusion by showing up ready. Showing up ready. Showing up knowing more than you know the person sitting next to you knows. Mastering the art of your voice. So it cannot be heard, but it can be felt. So it may seem steep, but I really had to work on this thing called discomfort and putting myself in places where I was not known. I was a nobody. But thanking God that regardless of what tiny space on the stage they gave me, I was able to blow it up.
Wow, round of applause for that one. Blow it up. Not surprisingly, we have loads of questions online because many people want to find out the how. But let's deal with the question that you asked that many of us struggled with. And I'm sure it's not just those of us in this room, but many struggle to explain how their brand should make people feel. So let's use your experience or your expectation to guide us about how to even define your own brand. So how does from where you sit and what people tell you, how does the Anita Erskine brand make people feel?
I trained myself to speak. So my voice is where you interact with my brand. God help me, without my voice, I don't know what I would do. But I knew maybe, I don't know when it was, but I knew that, Albert, for me to walk into a room and make people feel alive, that I could use my voice. I used to sing, and one day in the middle of the night, it occurred to me, the same tool, in fact, it was the Holy Spirit that spoke to me. Anita, the same tool you use to sing is the same tool you can manipulate to draw people into your space. Don't worry about the big English. And don't worry about the definitions just worry about how your voice resonates in the audience and how it makes the person who walked in with nothing feeling so low. Sing your words, sing your communication, so that when you talk to someone, you are sharing an experience, you are uplifting them with the literal texture of your voice. And that's how I built my brand.
Somebody sang a song and said, thank you. I think about it every night and day. Is that the case with you?
You guys better think about me tonight. Anyway, but it is.
Is that consciousness with you every time?
I have an opportunity that comes to me. I look at the topic, I look at the people, I look at the ethos, I look at the mission, I look at the ambition, and then I train how I want to be able to talk to this particular topic. I train how my voice should go up. I train how it should come down. I train how it should reverberate. I train how, it should crack a joke. I train how here it should be very, very light. And it's something that I do for myself because I know that if I'm able to manipulate your senses with my voice, you will think about it tonight.
You know
Maybe not you, Lady C is here, so.
No, but you know why I'm going backstage?
Yeah.
You know why I'm going to the engine room?
Yeah.
Because you will never know what happens until you are taken into the engine room.
Absolutely.
I got somebody tell me about when you moderated the heads of state convening not too long ago in Accra, Ghana, sometime in the first quarter of this year. And the person described you in one word. He says, she's a powerhouse. So I'm sitting here thinking, okay, it's cool to walk into an audience like this. You have friends, the hosts are your friends, you've known them for years. This is an audience of young people, very excited. So, hey, you can bring your persona in here. How do you translate that into an audience with heads of state and still feel so cool?
Ambition will make you do the craziest things. Ambition. You know why I said work with intention? If somebody and something is your target, you are feeling overwhelmed with joy and happiness and gratitude and, of God's mercy that you are in their presence. And you know you only have one chance. Albert, you have one chance. What do you do with it? If this is your ambition, and you've got 7, 8, 9, 10 heads of states in front of you, are you really telling me that, oh, you know what, it's just one of, you will never say that. And every single time this caliber of people and more are sitting in front of me, I tell myself, Anita, you know that thing you've been dreaming of? You know that thing you've been preparing for? You know that thing you've been studying? You have one chance. If you mess it up, you will not only disappoint yourself, you disappoint God with whom you made a pact. So how it feels is just walking in. It's not work as usual. Nothing is ever work as usual. Even coming here tonight, it's not work as usual. Albert, I have only one chance.
I was going to ask you about that.
No, it's never work as usual. What? I just show up and ha. Never. I made a pact. My pact with God was to use my voice. So this is not heads of state. But this is a room full of people who will take something you give to them tonight and manipulate their future in a way that they can then see results.
I'll tell you what, you did something very unusual when I sent you the invite. Within a few hours, you sent me exactly what you will say.
Yeah.
And the brief you gave me is what you are doing tonight.
Yeah.
That level of intentionality was rare and it was commendable. And so I told the church before today that today will be different. And you've
Amen.
met the billing. Let me take a few questions, and there are so many of them. But let me start from the person who sent it first, because these are later questions. I see quite a number of them. But let's start with Joseph Willie Baffo, who's asking, what books would you recommend in building your brand?
My dear Joseph, I'm one of the most controversial people you will ever meet. I don't think I've ever read a book about building brands. In fact, with all due respect, I'm a student of the real world. I think when it comes to the strategic brand building, I learned it on the job when I worked for Joel Nete and Originate. I mean,
Joel's been here. He's sat in the same chair.
Joel's been, well, hey, then I'm blessed. But Joel taught me about how to define brands from that strategic marketing perspective, how to talk to brands' consumers, and how to translate how the brand should make them feel, and then how to package it for the brand's target market. You know what I mean? So I don't know, Joseph. I haven't read books per se. I couldn't boast of any books that I've read. But I can say that I pay attention to, again, even if I were to read a book, I pay attention to not what the book has said, but how the book starts to make me think, rethink, strategize, plan, and really cultivate my sense of intentionality.
Would intentionality be the biggest word in your lexicon?
Major. If you don't do things intentionally, you do things without even realizing you're doing it, and you miss out on opportunities that are sitting right in front of you. I didn't know that all the time. I've only just learned it, by the way.
Let me take you to the heart of today's conversation.
Yeah.
For somebody so accomplished, you unashamedly say that the centerpiece of your life is a conversation with God. How big is God in the construct of your life?
When God says, because you are human, you can't open this door. But if you trust me, that I'm your maker, I can open this door by tomorrow. And he does it. My brother, it blows your mind. Albert, you can't send the most important person in the world an email and expect a response. But if you send the most important person in the world an email and you say, God, if it is your will that this person should respond to me, even if the response is not favorable, but it's a response, and I get that response, then you are God.
What's that?
If I tell you right now, it will affect my paycheck. But you know what I'm saying?
I understand.
At that point, when I tried so hard to do things by myself, because I thought, what? I'm the boss lady. And I was failing and failing and failing. When I thought, well, this should be easy. Look at my portfolio. Look at my degrees. And then God showed up and said, oh,
your degrees.
You thought it's that easy? Without me, you can't do it too. And it took a few falls, a few scrapes, and even changing the way I pray to know that because I'm the same one person, mind, body, and soul, where the ambition, the passion, everything is in one person, I must go to the one that created me. And only then, Albert, only then did I start to see the results that my heart had been beating for.
Let's talk about vulnerability. Behind this larger-than-life person, do you cry? Do you sometimes feel vulnerable?
Yeah.
Do you sometimes feel helpless?
Oh, yes.
Tell us about it.
I feel, okay, I'll give you an example. So, in January, and by the way, when I talk about reinvention, I'm talking about constantly applying for jobs. It is something I do. I never fold my arms and say, well, by now you should know me, you should know my portfolio, you should know I'm an award winner. Never. I will apply for the opportunity. Even if I'm applying too late, I know that once my email has registered in your system, I'm in your database. At the beginning of this year, there's a certain opportunity, 2 opportunities I was really looking for, and I'd worked so hard towards them. When I got an unfavorable message, usually what happens is in the first hour or so, it's a shock to your system. Because that's when you question yourself. That's when you say, are you saying I'm not good enough? Then you kind of start remembering that, hang on, you've got God. If it's meant to be, it'll be. So those are moments where I honestly sometimes feel so lonely. You're not really alone, but in that moment when you don't have what you're looking for, you feel lonely. And then of course I'm a mother. When my children are unwell, when my children have any problems, there's that feeling of weakness, you feel you've let them down, I'm a wife. So when the soup isn't nice and husband says, oh, okay, I'll eat it like that, then you feel, oh, I've let you down. Those women of you who are laughing, no, don't laugh. Oh. One day it'll happen to you. No, so it will happen. There are moments where you honestly feel inadequate, as basic as they may be. And those moments are sometimes also heightened by how much and how badly you want something. I'm human, so if I want something bad enough and I can't get it, especially when I think that I'm prepared for it, it breaks me down. I remember when my father passed away, 2021. I was ready for him to pass away because he had been unwell. I just wasn't ready how big of a blow it would be. So I discovered a whole side of grief and sadness and weakness that I never knew existed. That's also a thing. So I'm so human that whether it's children or husband or it's work or whatever it is, not every day is a great day. But every day is as great as I can pray for God to make it, because I ultimately go back to him and I say, God, I think I can see where the lesson should be learned in this. Thanks for the reminder.
Isn't that beautiful? All right. Ebenezer wants to know, have you ever experienced, Kobiatha, he says, have you ever experienced embarrassment as a public speaker, and how do you deal with it?
Embarrassment as a public speaker, you know, sometimes when you mispronounce the name of a very important person, and I recall it's happened to me where I mispronounced the name of a very important person. The embarrassment of it made me chuckle. I laughed, and the person wasn't happy that I laughed because it seemed so, you know, it seemed so disrespectful. How can you laugh at mispronouncing my name? And it was a grand stage, it was a very big event, and you know, he was a head of state, his protocol wasn't happy. It was a very horrible experience, you know, and how basically I dealt with it is I actually mastered the courage, went to His Excellency, and I said, it was a huge blunder. I didn't know what to do in that moment. I'm sorry that I didn't realize I needed to correct it immediately, but I promise you it'll never happen again. And we moved on.
How do you move on?
You move on by praying that an opportunity will come where you don't make that mistake again. You move on by also knowing that whether you like it or not, the clock will move, night will come, morning will come, the days will move on. And you move on also by, you know, criticism is one of the things that if you learn how to see, hear, and almost accept it and apply it, it makes you a better person. So you move on by being open to constructive criticism, even when it's designed to break you down or to bring you down. You can actually manipulate it so that it makes you a better person, and that's how you move on.
Wow. Priscilla from Mother wants to know whether your greatest gift is your voice.
Priscilla, I believe my greatest gift is my mind, because my mind controls what my voice can do. If my mind says, you know what, your voice can't do anything for you, my voice cannot do what I need it to do. So my greatest gift, by God's grace, is my mind and the gift of wisdom that my mind also comes with.
Wow. Janezi actually says, what is one of the most regrettable mistakes you've made? I think you've spoken to that already, so we'll jump that one?
Yeah,
all right.
Sure.
Maureen Erikwa Odwe says, brilliant submission, power. What are the top 3 global brands from where you sit, and how do they make the market feel?
The top 3 global brands: Brand Africa. Brand Africa. If we look at Africa as the brand that it's supposed to be, or that a brand, and we allow ourselves to take this big brand and further segment it into all the powerful elements that make up the brand, our great-great-great-grandchildren will have our generation to thank for the global emergence and the prosperity of Brand Africa. 2, global brand. The second one is myself. Albert, I'm sorry, I don't look at other people and say, oh, wow. Not that I don't admire them. Not that I don't celebrate them. No. I look at myself because I have so much work to do on myself. So if you're talking about a top 3 global brand, I live and bask in the glory of aspiration so much that I see myself as a global brand. And I remember when I changed my LinkedIn title to Global African Storyteller. I had a lot of people say, what is a Global African Storyteller? And I said, it's an individual who will take the concept of Africa around the world through the power of oral narrative. 3rd is global brand. The 3rd one, I don't know what the 3rd one would be.
Let's work with the first 2.
First 2, yeah.
Do you see yourself as an African ambassador?
Yes.
I thought so. A round of applause
all
for that.
day, every day. All day, every day. Any opportunity I get, Africa all the way.
The last time I saw you doing a promo, it was on the social enterprise. I think it was Achievers. I saw a little clip of you doing something for Achievers.
Yes,
10
Junior
women,
Achievers. Yeah. 10 man. Yeah.
10, was it 10?
10 million African girls. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll give you a minute to mention that, and then I'll go to the audience for any questions in the hall. Why is it so big for you to have African girls at the place where you believe that they must be?
When I forged an alliance with Junior Africa Achievers, I started to see how much of the continent's growth sits in the hands of, and I was teasing this audience, sits in the hands of these under 20s, under 18s. If they can understand what brilliance they have, if they are given an opportunity to speak in a room like this, if they are given an opportunity not to sit at the back but sit in the front, if they are encouraged to believe not only in their dreams, but that there is someone who is keen on helping them achieve their dreams, if we can do this for 10 million African girls, they will then in turn do it for 10 million more, and on and on and on. So for me, as someone who has lent her voice to this initiative, is exactly that our true resource on this continent is our human resource. I am looking, or I lean towards girls because naturally, as the data shows us, girls are, don't have access to education the way they should. So that is why 10 million African girls is such an important initiative for me to affiliate myself with.
Come tonight, I'm working on a program that is actually onboarded almost 500,000 young people across this country in the past 2 years, and 74% of them are young girls within the ages of 15 and 35.
Wow.
And the sheer power of giving them a little push and a little opportunity attests to what you're seeing.
And Albert, just before you go to the audience, sometimes the push is just someone who will listen. Sometimes it's not all, oh, Anita, talk to me. It sometimes is, I want to tell you something. I can't tell anyone, but I know you will listen. And just the fact that you've listened gives me hope that I can be and do something great with my life. So I do agree with you.
I'll tell you what, there's one word I wish we had explored before I go down, and that's the word storytelling.
Storytelling.
How powerful is that as a tool for transformation?
I developed a leadership communication institute called the Leadership Voice. And the reason I developed it was because I realized that if a leader is unable to express him or herself, doesn't matter the language, if they're unable to stand, whether it's in front of people, doesn't have to be an audience, it can even be with your team, and translate an emotion in a way that helps them feel that emotion, you are unable to get them on the bandwagon with you. Your team has to feel your desire to turn this place into something the world has never seen. They must taste it, they must hear it, they must feel it, and that's the power of storytelling. So you find that when you're tired, you might say, okay, you know what, tonight I'm not going to do anything. I just want to watch a documentary. I want to watch a movie. Think about it. The concept of the documentary, because it's soft. The concept of the movie, because sometimes it's just, fiction. It plays on your emotions, taking you away from the frustration of a day you've just had, and hiding you in a place that almost makes you feel like, you know what, just dream of Disney, dream being there. You don't realize you're doing it. So storytelling gives the people around you a sense, a taste. It helps them to hear something that sometimes they cannot hear. So how you are telling your story, how you are encouraging the team, how you are even communicating, even by listening, allows them to feel something. So when they walk out of here, they feel, okay, I really need to change how I do A, B, or C. And that's the power of storytelling.
5 questions, and that's all we'll take for tonight. Just line up behind the microphones. 5. And that is 1.
I love it.
That is 2. And we are done. Oh, okay. For those who are already standing, just join. Keep your questions straight to the point so we can take as many as... No, the 2 of you stood up, please. Let's not miss out on the youth voice. Your voices are very key. So join any of the... So let's have 3 per queue. Okay, there you go. 1, 2, Okay, that's cool. 2 here, 2 here. One more behind Jojo. There you go. And then 2 here. All right, let's go. So let's take 2 at a time. Young man, you still deserve a chance, so join that queue. All right.
Hello.
Are we good?
Hello.
All right. Who said hello? Let's
So,
start. Your first name and then your question. And for the sake of, let's have one question. Don't say my first 4 questions are one. And no preamble. Go straight to the point. All right. Thank you.
Okay, so my name is Daniel, and my question is, what is the best advice you give someone who is chasing his or her passion?
Thank you.
Should I give you the answers while we go, or do you want to write them down?
Let's take first 3 so that.
All right. Best advice you give to someone who's chasing their passion.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yes.
Okay. My name is Jack Elom. I'm a storyteller.
Name is?
My name is Jack Elom.
Jack, okay.
Yeah, I'm a brand storyteller. So my question is, I want the older generation to get where the world is going to now with the power of social media.
Okay.
So there are brands that can tell their stories with I just want them to understand that putting up billboards, there are people who have the money to buy whatever you are selling, but they can't read what is on the billboard, or they just don't have time to read it, and they are always on their phone. So I want brands to come on social media and then communicate whatever they have to sell well to the people.
Okay.
But I don't know how to communicate it to them because they think social media is for children.
So how do you communicate to brands who
Yes.
should take advantage of the power of social
Yes,
media?
please.
Got it.
All right. Let's add a 3rd person and then we just hit it. David, Jack, and then.
I'm James, and my question is, what are the most common mistakes people make when trying to grow up their brand?
What are the most common mistakes people make when trying to grow their brand or build their brand? Got it. Thank you.
Okay, so let's start with
Okay.
David, who wants to know the best advice you give to someone chasing their passion.
My dear brother, passion belongs to you and you alone. Only you know what the smell and the taste of your passion is. Never forget the smell and the taste of it, and never forget that passion essentially, it's fuel. It's like petrol. Do you understand what I'm saying? But unfortunately for you, passion alone is not enough. As it's the fuel, it needs the car or it needs the vehicle. So then what you do is you take the passion and then you build the infrastructure around it. That then pushes the ambition forward. So I would come and say to you, make up a plan. Develop a plan for who you are, what you are, where you want to go with what you have. Once you develop that plan and you know exactly the framework, and I like to call it the destiny blueprint for what you do, the fact that you will fail every single day, and the fact that every single day after that day you'll get up and you'll move, is backed by the passion, which is your fuel. So the passion alone is not enough. You need to now figure out how to build the infrastructure around the passion to move the ambition forward. Does that make sense? Thank you.
Second question from Jack. How do you communicate to brands about the power of social media?
Jack, where are you? I am here.
Yeah, right.
Jack, you are only as good as how you show up. The brands want to give you money. They want to ensure that the money they're giving to you is something that they don't only make back, but that they can trust you with it. Every brand understands the power of social media. But do you have a social media handle? If I went to your social media handle right now, would I be convinced to give you 100,000 Ghana cedis today to handle my social media? We'll check it out. But know this, a brand will only affiliate with you, of course, or will only go ahead and find that and build that affiliation with you when they are sure that you are sure of what you are selling. What's the biggest social media platform in East Africa? Huh? TikTok in East Africa. Based on what? Based on assumption or based on knowledge? Based on assumption. I won't give you the $100,000. So imagine if you had come here prepared, because I'm going to talk to this woman about social media, and you had prepared all this information, and you said, Anita, let's take your brand to East Africa, and the biggest social media brand right now, or the biggest social media platform is this, because of A, B, C, and D, we're walking away with a deal. So be prepared. The brands are ready to spend the money. But if you don't have that knowledge at the tip of your fingers, and if you're not doing the research beyond the borders of Ghana, nobody's spending money with you.
Thank you very much. Third question is from James, And it says, what are the most common mistakes? You mentioned one of them already, that people make in brand building.
James, the most common mistake is when we get too comfortable. You know what I mean? And by the way, let me correct myself. If you've built something and it's okay for you, I'm not forcing you to rebuild another thing. But if you've built something and it's not okay, and you're not happy with where it is, it means that though you are successful with it, there's something really wrong, and maybe you should aspire for more. So a lot of the time, people make a mistake by thinking, well, you know, I put so much energy and time into it, I put so much money in it, do you know how many years I've been doing it for? Nobody cares how many years you've been doing it for. So the biggest misconception and the biggest disservice you can do yourself is assuming that because you put in so much, by now, somebody should be giving you back. Nobody owes you that. So one of the biggest messages I have is build, move, be conscious of when you realize that it needs elevation, when you realize it needs change. Get uncomfortable and push it further.
Thank you very much. Let's go to you, madam. Two of you there, you and Jojo. Yeah.
Yeah, good evening. My name is Raquel.
Ajua?
Raquel.
Rahel, okay. Kindly go ahead.
And my question is, what strategies have you used to overcome doubt?
Beautiful.
Thank you, Jojo.
So, having been born in Jerusalem, raised in Ghana, and educated in Canada, how does that level of international exposure influence the way you advertise and promote Brand Africa?
Okay.
Thank you very much. Let's do those two.
Okay, so doubt. As I'm sitting here, there's a project I'm working on and I have doubts about it because it's so big and I'm so afraid. But I remind myself that the more I doubt myself, the more disappointed I will be, because doubt only exists to dissuade you from doing that which will elevate you and take you to the next level. And so I have to always remind myself, always, and I'm telling you, you think people have it all figured out, not all the time. So doubt will live with you forever, because at every stage in your life, especially the higher you go, the more you start to doubt, hey, but am I sure? Hey, but who sent me? Now, baby, hey, will people buy? But then you've got to remind yourself, okay, wait. Why did I start this thing in the first place? And sometimes you need a network of people you trust. In all these conversations I'm having, everything that I do, I don't do it by myself. I have a powerful network of like-minded, wise people. Some of them are older, some of them are my age, some of them are even younger than me. I lean on them and I say, Charlie, I'm afraid. And they say, but Anita, why are you afraid? Sometimes you need what I like to call hype men. People who just hype you into doing what they believe you can do. Because sometimes we are human and we forget ourselves and then we doubt ourselves. So the doubt will always be there. But surround yourself with people who believe in you. People who are smarter than you. Not people you are smarter than. Because the people you are smarter than, they'll say, baby, not dream. Right? Do you understand me? So you will always doubt yourself. But always lean on somebody that is smarter than you. And of course, always go to the higher power and pray. Jerusalem, Ghana, where is he? I don't remember Jerusalem. And the truth of the matter is, I have forced myself to align with the concept of telling African stories from the open-mindedness of accepting the differences in the cultures across the continent. So it's not just about how, oh, Anita, you were born here, you were whatever. I mean, that is, yes, it is a blessing. But there is an intentionality to understanding the culture in the north of Africa. So I know how to approach Northern Africans when I'm in North Africa. I know how to talk to that audience when I'm there. Southern Africa, because we're all very different. You know that, right? Every corner of the continent is very different. So because my work demands that I approach people with the respect, I also compel myself to read on these countries. So it doesn't matter where I was born, even though I love it. Doesn't matter where I lived, even though I loved it. The part of my ethos, part of my vision and ambition is really embedded in learning people and cultures and respecting them as they are. Okay? Does that answer your question, sir? Yeah.
Two from here. The last
Hello.
two from here.
My name is Sedinam. My question is, should my personal brand be separate from my business brand? Should my personal brand
be
separate
From my business brand. Okay.
Or integrated.
Integrated. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Beautiful. Is the
Kindly
same question?
Same question. Okay, lovely. Your first name, second.
Yes,
said
madam.
and then your name.
Your name?
At least mention your name so we see that you
I like your skirt. Can I have it?
Yes, I'm a fashion designer. I'm Golden Adams.
That's
Excuse us. So you see, you live and breathe the brand. You see how it made me feel, right? I don't know your brand name, but I look at it and I said, I like your skirt. You know what I mean?
Okay, shoe.
Sorry?
The shoe is also matching.
The shoe, my leg won't fit, but it's fine. The pointed toes, mint. But beautiful.
First name.
I'll get you one.
Thank you. So your first name.
Golden.
Golden.
Okay.
Two golden. The shoe is golden. Okay.
I know.
So, Sedinam and golden.
All right.
Personal brand, business brand.
If your personal brand is what I like to call front of house. When I say front of house, I mean the person, Anita Erskine, is the business. Do you understand me? You can build, okay, I can build Erskine Global Communications and have people run it and never show up. I can have the best CEOs in the world, the best accountants, and it can do whatever it needs to do. And then I can build brand Anita Erskine. That is front of house, the public speaker, the one who picks up a microphone and talks. In my instance, in most cases, the personal and the professional are integrated. So I give you an example. If I come into this place, not because it is not a high-level event, I decide, oh, you know what, let me just talk to them anyhow. No, because they know that my brand as a high-level moderator means I come with something. They come to experience that something. Do you understand what I'm saying? So there may be, quote unquote, a personal connection to this gathering. You experience Anita Erskine, the person. You didn't experience Anita Erskine, the business. But in my case, they're integrated because they each depend on each other. Do you see? That's how the brand is built. But if your brand is separate, and that's why sometimes your brands need to outlive you. My fashion designer friend, yes, you may be the only person who is sketching now. You may be the only person who is drawing. But you could build a fashion house that completely operates without you. Do you understand what I'm saying? And yes, once in a while you can show up, you can wear the outfit if you like. Does that answer your question? So if you build a brand that is front of house particularly, then I would advise that it goes hand in hand with your personal, the personal and the professional be integrated. But if you've separated them, then you can, you can afford to be a different person if you like.
That leaves no room for an off day.
We never prayed for an off day, my brother. What we're getting is what we prayed for, and that is the cost.
Let's have the last two questions.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
In the concept of being different, what position should one take in order not to intimidate colleagues, but still meet bosses' expectations and influence colleagues when you are determined to grow in your career line?
Okay.
First name?
Your name?
Eunice.
Okay, last question.
Good evening. My name is Kingsley. Okay, so I would like to find out from you. Kingsley,
okay.
I'd like to find out from you what habits or routines contributed to your success. And also, I'm sure you have encountered difficult tasks. So what did you do to make difficult tasks look attractive for you to work tirelessly?
Great. Your question is the same question that Mariama Okan is asking, the habits and routines. So we can consider that we've answered Mariama's question.
Yeah.
But before you answer Kingsley, let's start with Eunice. Eunice, do you get concerned about intimidating other people?
I used to, but not anymore.
Why?
Because I cannot take responsibility for how my true nature makes you feel. You know what I mean? By the way, I don't exist to intimidate you. What you get is the real deal. And I try as much as possible to ensure that my desire for people to feel comfortable around me doesn't translate into my desire just to be, quote unquote, do anything and everything to please people. Not at all. So if you are intimidated in my presence, I often like to know why, because I do have a lot of people who come up and say, oh gosh, I'm so intimidated. And I say, why? Oh, you speak so well. And I don't speak well. And then I correct them, because intimidation is translated very differently. But Eunice, if you are serving, for example, a team, I love bringing my team up to where I am. Just the same way I hope to bring myself further up when I'm with a team of people bigger, wilder, more, I don't know, my team is here. Do I tell the truth though? My job is not to have people work for me. I have a rule that people must work with me. Because I may be who I am, but if you could get to where I am or even further, it would be my life's honor. So intimidation is interesting in how it's translated. And I don't think it's one size fits all. I don't think one answer cuts across. I think situations of intimidation are varied.
Let's see the last question from Kingsley, and by extension, Mariama watching us online. What habits or routines have contributed to where you are on this journey?
Mariama and Kingsley, first of all, I stopped apologizing for being good at what I do. It used to be a horrible habit. I used to feel bad being able to do what I do. Because again, I felt, it makes people feel like you are overconfident. It is when I started to talk with God that I felt, and Albert, I tell you, it sits vividly in my mind. I remember that day. I actually said, God, you must be so disappointed in me. And I said this to my business partner the other day. You must be so disappointed that with all the beauty and the power and the strength and the wisdom and everything that you furnished me with, that I dishonor you by dumbing it down because somebody or people around me are not comfortable in my presence. And I used to do that a lot. And one day, in that moment of realizing that, hang on, what if you flipped the coin? What if, though they may feel intimidated, you gave them a little bit of the power to find their own confidence, their own voice, their own presence, their own resilience? Another habit that I kicked was really a mental habit, thinking that every single time I had to make excuses for why you are who you are. If I can make an excuse for why Albert is who he is, then it protects me from correcting Albert's mistakes. Because I help Albert justify why Albert is making mistakes. Because I don't want to, if I correct Albert, he'll feel sad, he'll feel bad. But when I realized that, wait, Anita, that's a very horrible habit. You are misleading these people. You're misleading this person. It's okay to say, I do appreciate how you are trying to do it, but do you mind me teaching you how to do it better? Because I can see something in you. That's another habit that I kicked. The third habit that I kicked was apologizing for not being present for the occasions that are seemingly important. Because I remembered, and I keep reminding myself, why does God put you in certain situations? Why does God give you certain opportunities? Because it is designed for you. So if in this instance, when he's actually giving you something you've prayed for, you've cried for, you've yearned for, you are unable to be present for this, you don't have to apologize for not being present for that. Now, if you want to make up for not being present for that, that's fine. But apologizing for something that you genuinely don't feel sorry about because within you, you know, wow, it's going to open a door, it's going to break through, it's going to do this for me, doesn't make sense. So rather than, oh, I apologize, compromise. I can't do this with you, Albert, but listen, how about we record a full-blown episode and you use it later?
Wow. Let me donate a minute to Obed Krang from Sunyani. He's a great entrepreneur, young person, employed other young people, doing some great work in printing, and telling us all in Accra that he doesn't need to come to Accra. He can employ people in Sunyani. He's asking, Anita, when do you feel that you are at the apex of your brand? So let's give him a minute so he doesn't feel left out. Obed is asking, when do you when do you realize that you have reached the apex? Or is it something you can ever attain?
At what point do you feel that you are at the apex of your brand?
Yeah.
I think there is a taste that comes with a breakthrough. I believe so. You see, breakthrough comes in different levels, Obed. You take a plan for your business. Your first breakthrough could be the approval of a grant. I'm not talking about global, oh, look at me. No. A grant, 10,000 cities. That breakthrough is going to allow you to invest in, let's just say, machinery. For that level, that's the apex. Then you go to the next level. Because at every single level, you must look for its associated apex. Otherwise, when you reach what you call your apex, you will stop. And you will stop growing. So I would say segment it, divide it into levels. Okay, at this level, what must I achieve to know that, yep, I have ticked the box for this level? The apex of that level is when the box is ticked and when you feel, wow, I have achieved this. Okay, now let's go to the next level. It's interesting, Obed, I love your question because I never want to believe that. Let me be careful how I put this. I never want to believe I have arrived. So I don't think that I can give you concrete indicators. Obed, it is when you see, it is when you see. I think I can only translate it into how you feel when you cross a certain threshold. And depending on your faith and how it is designed, Albert, I don't know if you've ever experienced this. A particular sense of achievement for which you humbly say, I cannot own this. I give it to you. I don't know if you've ever experienced
At almost
that.
every stage in your life.
So
Something
it is
happens
not
to remind you of that.
Yeah, but I hope this answers your question. I'm a very bizarre person when it comes to success, apex, but I think that if at that level certain key things are achieved and you feel this overwhelming sense of I have been able to tick the box, perhaps for you that may be your indicator.
Well, Apostle Paul says something in Philippians 3:13 and 14. He says, I don't count myself to have arrived. This one thing I do, forgetting the things that are behind and reaching forth to the things that are before, I press towards the mark for the prize of the higher call of God in Christ. Anita, as we get down the stairs, what's your favorite color?
Green.
Favorite sport?
Football.
Favorite day of the week?
Friday.
When do you feel at your best? In the morning, afternoon, or evening?
Morning.
How do you feel about this audience?
Humbled, honored, overwhelmed with grace, with favor, with blessing. I am only a servant of the people. When the people are happy, it means I'm happy. Did you have a question for me? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah,
yes.
Please, how important is respect in your self-business?
How important is it, self-respect?
Yeah.
It is the only thing you have. Self-respect is a certain richness that nobody can take away from you.
Why don't you stand with her? It will be so big for her.
If you have cash and nobody respects you, doesn't mean anything. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Little sister, you can come. Little sister, come and stand by her.
If you have all the money in the world, but you don't respect yourself, it doesn't mean anything. If you don't know how to look at yourself in the mirror and appreciate how you look, if you don't know how to look at your book, even if you get 0 out of 10, and appreciate that what will take you to 10 out of 10 is a little bit more hard work, then you have nothing. Self-respect is the ability for you to say, I know who I am. I may not have all that I have, But because I know who I am, you can't take it away from me. And no money in the world, no wealth in the world can replace the power of self-respect. Do you understand?
Yes, please.
Are you an A student? Are you an A student? She said, what's your favorite subject in school?
Science.
Science. What do you like about science?
Well, science is, I like the experiments part of science.
Oh, you are so clever. In school, I never used to get the experiments correct. So can you help me? Tell me the truth. If you can't help me, I won't be angry.
About science.
About science. Can you help me with my science?
Okay.
What can you teach me about science?
Okay, I can teach you like about. I can teach you about.
What did you learn in science today in school?
Today was our last exam. It was science.
Okay, what did you learn in it? What did you write? What the exam about?
The exam was about.
Don't worry, if you don't remember, it's okay. Say you will still pass. You've passed. But you can still come and teach me about science. Thank you so much for your question on self-respect.
Anita Erskine, every day, any day, incredible personality. And the little girl gets a hug she will never forget for the rest of her life. A round of applause.
Where's mommy? Mommy, how many girls? 3. Is that the last one? Or last but 1? Or last but 2? Don't worry, mommy. It's fine. Thank you.
Let's hear it. New Wine Temple for Anita Erskine. Wow. I'm sure you will understand why I added on 30 more minutes. This is an experience of a lifetime. And if you have been blessed tonight, if you have been uplifted tonight, if you have been made uncomfortable as a stepping stone to that greatness, let your applause reflect your appreciation. Thank you very much. Kindly be seated. Anita, thank you so much on behalf of Comfort and I for this was wonderful, wonderful. The online audience is buzzing. And for those whose questions we didn't get to answer, please trust me. We will do this again and you will get to ask more questions. Let me flip the program and do the wow moment now. If you can give me the basket, somebody gets to get some African products and to get a book to read and to get some cash in your pocket just because Anita came to town. And right after this, please don't go because there's free kebab in the garden, there's pictures in the garden, there's free drinks in the garden. Just let's make friends, that network. And please, 3 questions. Who are you? Question 2. What are you? Question 3. Since we all failed the first exams, let's go back to the garden and this time get it right. Who are you? What are you? And where are you going? It's called Knowing Me, Knowing You. Happening in the gardens right after this. The winner of this wow moment also gets to take a picture with Anita. That one alone is the biggest prize. Charlie. Please give Anita a mic to announce the winner.
The person who gets this really deserves it.
Hey, it has been stirred. Microphone for Anita, please. And the winner. Make sure the mic is working. This one.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Practical Christianity Hangout, ICGC The New Wine Temple, presents our winner going home with nothing but extraordinary African products. $1 million. 12 months subscription to Anita Erskine Conversations on WhatsApp about life, branding, and everything in between. Please welcome, with a resounding round of applause, Miss Lisa Gesma. Lisa, is it
Where is
Gesma
Lisa?
or Gresma or Esma? Lisa,
Let's
who are
feel
you?
you.
Hey! Lisa. What's the last name? Esiama. What handwriting here? Wait. We are biology students. Intern or handwriting enya no. Mate, Kojiwo prize ne.
Please present on our behalf.
Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great honor to give to Lisa Isiama, a biology student. Look out for Lisa. She will be in laboratories around the world creating the best, most innovative vaccines for the continent in how many years? 10 years. Obacharu. Eh? A few years. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Lisa Isiama.
Thank you very much. So Lady Comfort will take Anita downstairs. She'll join us in the gardens in the next 5 minutes. So we'll join them in the gardens shortly. So just for a few minutes and then we'll be done for tonight. It's time for our offering. The offering bag will come around. Just bless the Lord, and as you do, may the Lord also bless you abundantly. God bless you.
your attention for the following reminders. Let's meet at Encounter Service on Saturday from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Invite family, friends, and loved ones to join us as we worship and fellowship together. Ministering will be Pastor Albert Okran. Sunday service. Join us this Sunday for our Palm Sunday service. First service, 7:30 a.m., and then second service is at 10 a.m. Holy baptism. The baptism of the Holy Spirit is with the evidence of speaking in tongues, comes off this Saturday. The date of ministration is 12th April, and the time is 4 p.m. Premarital counseling class. Our premarital counseling class for this year begins tomorrow, Thursday, 10th April. The time is 7 to 9 p.m. All church members who intend to get married this year should register their names at the information desk. I would like to invite Pastor Opokukwache to give us their benediction. And kindly don't forget to meet us in the garden for the refreshments.
Thank you very much. Shall we kindly rise to our feet as we bring the service to a close? Shall we pray? Our Father, we thank you. For we began with you. Your grace has been with us. And you have brought us to this time that, Lord, we are leaving your presence. We are leaving here, but your presence go with us. As we go, may the highways be safe. May the byways be safe. May the pathways be safe. Carry us on your wings to our destiny. Father, through the night, let power change hands. That, Lord, we will be victors even in our dreams. That when we wake up in the morning, we'll lift up our hands and say thank you for what you have done, for what you are doing, and for what you are about to do. In the mighty name of Jesus, we have prayed. Amen. Thank you very much. Let's join at the gardens and let's celebrate. Thank you.